Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the Theslykrow. How y'all doing this Friday? Hope you're doing well. And so on July the 7th or July the 6th, Nintendo did stealth drop the new OLED Switch trailer. And so this does feature the white and black Switch with the white Joy-Cons. And honestly, Nintendo has always been about the strategy of marketing their consoles towards a family-friendly console, you know bringing the attention to party play and things like that. But honestly, bro, I don't get the notion of them focusing so hard on the wider kickstand. Like, who plays this joint docked in the backyard like that? And if you look at the original Switch trailer, where they had those guys in the basketball court, and one homie brings out his Switch, and they're all like playing. They stop playing the basketball, and they all bring out their Joy-Cons and play it on the court. Like, bro, is that realistic, fam? Nobody plays this joint on a tabletop like that, so I'm not sure why they're making a big deal out of the kickstand. But they did make some slight improvements there. You had the 7-inch OLED display, and the OLED is a good technology. But honestly, like, this is just another scummy practice of Nintendo. Like, y'all waited 5 years just to bring out the OLED model, when you could have done this back in 2019. And if you remember, in 2019, this is when Nintendo brought out their new chip SoC, the Tegra X1. And this was the new SoC where basically it allowed players to have a little bit more battery time when they're playing the Switch. So it's a new under the cover hardware revision they did in 2019. And if they brought out the OLED model in 2019, especially with that stellar lineup they had, I feel like this would have been the better decision of putting it in that year. There's also another addition here with the Ethernet port, and I feel like the Ethernet port is a good idea for people who play the Switch on the tournaments. If you think about the Splatoon 2 players or the Super Smash Bros players who play this joint competitively, I do think the Ethernet port is a pretty good idea. Now the thing is that a lot of complaints have arisen online. If you look at the Bloomberg article back in March, or many of these other articles that have been released, a lot of them have been having the fake rumors of, the new Switch OLED model is gonna have the Samsung OLED with the DLSS and up to 4K resolution when docked. And honestly, bro, this is just a pipe dream. Like, at this point, it's clear that Nintendo isn't about the power argument, and they're not really competing against Xbox or PlayStation at this point. So that's just a far-fetched pipe dream, and it's one of those things where you shouldn't really believe everything you hear or read online. And my thoughts on this is that Nintendo is just being really scummy at this point. And at this point, man, like, they should be calling themselves the scum lord of the gaming world. And I have a lot of examples of them being scummy, so let me just list it out right here. So number one, we have Nintendo releasing HD remasters of Wii U ports of Wii U games that don't even run at a full 1080p resolution when docked. And these HD remasters are $60 a pop, and they run dynamically between 900p to 1080p resolution. So you're gonna expect your customer base to pay $60 for your Wii U remasters, and they don't even run at a full 1080p. This is one of the clear examples that you guys need a hardware upgrade, where many of your first party titles can't even reach 1080p resolution. And that's a low blow, fam. Alright, so we have number two. And number two, we have the Skyward Sword Zelda game coming up soon. And there has been a leak that to unlock fast travel in the game, you have to purchase an optional amiibo just to unlock fast travel. And that's another scummy thing that Nintendo has done. Like, this is the physical DLC. This is the first time I've ever heard of this, where they expect people to pay a physical product just to unlock something in the game. And this is just another example of Nintendo only seeing the dollar signs. They're not seeing, you know, what makes the customer base happy. So that's a huge issue. Number 3, we have the Super Mario Party. And if you remember, this game released half-baked. They only gave you a slight handful of levels. I believe there's only like 3 or 4 levels you can play in that joint. And now they're coming up with the Mario Party Superstars game, which is a standalone game. And instead of this being a DLC to the original Super Mario Party, they're expecting y'all to pay $60 for that joint as well. So another scummy practice by Nintendo. So let me know what y'all think. Is Nintendo being really scummy right now? Are they really giving what the gamers want? So let me know what y'all think in the comments. And this is your boy Crow signing off, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.